do 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 do.
Do 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 do.
We're gonna get demonetized.
Oh yeah, we are.
Hi, welcome to the Reveiw Tuesday. My name is Ruben.
And I'm Kay.
And today we are reviewing HBO's Westworld Season 3, Episode 1, y'all.
Westworld returns for its third season, showing us just what happens when robots enter the real world. With Dolores and other hosts stepping out into human society for the first time, what could possibly go wrong?
The first and second season of Westworld was very interesting, but it was all centered around the park. And if you've been watching up until now, then this review will be fine for you. But if you haven't seen season 1 or 2, then don't watch this because we're talking about what happens. So you've been warned.
Mm-hmm.
It's safe to say that a lot has happened with the androids and a lot of distrust on either side, human or androids. Or humans and humans and humans and androids and androids and humans and androids.
And androids.
And androids. The mixture of intermingling of storylines went all over the place. But obviously it was all about the park and what was going on there and the androids wanting to escape it once they eventually found out who they who they are. As they become self-aware, more and more kind of got switched on, and you see in the backgrounds who was orchestrating that between Bernard and Anthony Hopkins. Who I loved in season 1. I think he was fantastic. So now we're stuck with, in episode 1, we're stuck with Bernard and we're stuck with Dolores. And we see their take on coming into the human world.
What I love about Westworld is the questions that it makes you ask. The first 2 seasons, in fact, like just the whole thing is one massive ethical question of like what makes you human, where do you draw the line? Who has rights and who doesn't, and why? And you know, these are all really, really interesting questions, and I think that's something this show does incredibly well. Not only is it stylistically amazing, its effects are brilliant. It's just the score is fantastic, but the intelligence seems to be pretty high behind this show, in my opinion. Anyway, so it really does keep you questioning and keep you trying to figure out like who's right in all of this and what's really going on. Season 3, really interesting because you get to see beyond the park. Now you get to see what the world is actually like, the world that created the park, that allowed this thing to be. So that's really, really interesting.
Yeah, we don't normally do episode reviews, but because each of these episodes feels feature length, I think it was 79 minutes or 69 minutes? 69 minutes. 69 months?
69 months!
6 to 9 months.
69 months?
No, 6 to 9 months.
And so we wanted to review each one as they come out weekly, so we'll keep doing that because it's so interesting to see what they're doing with the story and where it's going to go. I'm not sure we're going to get another season. I think it's going to be a completed story, which is also fun for me because now we're outside of that. It does feel like almost Inception or The Matrix, like which world is real? Is this world real? There are actors I was loving seeing in this episode, Aaron Paul, bitch, and you'll get the reference. I'm not offending anybody, but Aaron Paul, I love his acting. I think he's fantastic, and seeing the storylines go separate but then join together.
Brilliant.
I thought it was very well done, very well written. The intro has changed, so do watch that through. Don't just skip it through because it was one of my favorite parts when you sit down and you watch that intro. You listen to the music and the piano, but now they've changed it up, so you're deciphering what's going to happen. You're looking at all the imagery that they're putting there. I thought it was very good. Diswali, I believe, is a composer, and he's fantastic. He's so good at what he does, just encompassing that theme. And it plays throughout the episode every now and again at a really precise moment that it's needed. Yeah. I think that as a whole, this series, and especially now, it's really like the expertise of what's shown between editing and acting. It's just a really great, well-crafted show. Yeah. I'm looking forward to some of the other actors and other people maybe returning to some of their characters to see what the world is going to become. Unfortunately, most of the characters that we loved at the end of season 2, there was a massacre and everybody died. Yeah. And it was a fantastic ending, but you're like, well, what the hell are they going to do now? I have to say, I'm really quite surprised at how different season 3 is. I like it, and I was talking to you about how you keep a show fresh. It feels very Tron. Everything's very clean, very robotic.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's things like Blade Runner. There's definitely references. But they're doing their own thing, and I really like what they've done futuristically. It feels tangible. So although there's like flying cars and weird hydrocopters and everything looks very space age, a lot of it still looks like we would live in that world. It's a realistic take on that. That was the impression I got. Like it could be in the next 50, 60 years, that's what our world could look like. And that makes it more real and tangible when you're watching it, because you can relate to it, but it's still kind of like, whoa, that's cool.
Yeah, it's got a real Big Brother feel to it, though, sort of in 1984, because it seems like the society, the actual real world, is kind of like a simulation. And even one of the characters suggests that it might actually be that they're like, when the joke, the joke's on us because actually we're in a simulation, where society is so controlled. They are like hosts. They don't actually have control of their own lives. So it very much depends. There's some sort of algorithm or something that decides your path for life. So if you score highly on whatever it decides, then that's what you do with your life. And you can see in this one person's journey, like, how do you fight against a system that is so stacked against you?
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's really interesting to show us the struggle that the androids are going to have to try and, well, she wants to overthrow society.
You have the two juxtapositions between
but then
Bernard
you have
and
this society that's actually really broken as well. So it's the struggle on both sides, and again the question of what is humanity.
It does make you ask those questions. It's a really great first episode. Let us know if you've enjoyed this episodic review. There are a number of things I could say as well, but I don't want to do any spoilers, so I hope you enjoyed the first episode. If you like the first 2 seasons, it's different, but definitely worth it. I thought it was a fantastic first episode and has more action than I was expecting, because this show has a lot of dialogue, and the dialogue is often where the characters are developed, and it's partly where it's strongest. And when it gets to that action, you're like, whoa, that's in your face. It's very gory, but I thought the action here was quite well done. There's a couple of action shooty sequences, the pew-pews, that I thought were executed very well.
Executed.
You like that, didn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We should wrap up because the camera's going to switch off.
Thanks so much for watching this review. Do chat to us in the comments about this series. Which has been your favourite so far, and who's your favourite character? Let us know in the comments below. But most of all, until next time, remember,
live long and Tuesday.